Following is a 45 TV sports presentation. 45 TV.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition, liftoff.
I'm in it to win it. Made for the fight. Taking his right thumb, he scores! I'm breaking through the night. I'm in it to win it. Gonna step to the edge. Can't wait for tomorrow. Scores! Coming out like revenge. I'm in it to win it. He scores! Can't wait for tomorrow. Break through the night. Here's his wrist shot loose. He doesn't see it. They score! No goal! Colts right now. Shot scored! From the point! Now Hermantown can celebrate. Long fed shot scores! The Halloween machine is back on top.
And welcome. Our 2018 Minnesota Boys State High School Hockey Tournament coverage starts with two teams seeking their first ever state championship. Mankato East Cougars, the 1A champs in just their second state tourney, will take on the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, champions of 4A, making their 10th appearance. And you can see the hockey fans still making their way into the XL Energy Center here in the state of hockey in downtown St. Paul. You can see the Class A brackets. All 8 of these teams still have their championship dreams and hopes alive, at least for now, but there is a lot of action yet to come, and we'll start separating these teams in the next several hours. Joining me today, as always, Mike McGraw and Johnny Pohl. Thank you both for being here. Mike, let's start with you. A little bit later today, we're going to have a rematch of last year's Class A championship game between Hermantown and Monticello. Anything could happen.
That's right. This tournament is really improving, and last year showed it with Hermantown, the heavy favorite, having to struggle in 3 overtime games to win their title. So I expect much the same this year. Last year was also a coming out party for the Monticello program. This is my favorite week of the year. I live for this week because the hockey is so good.
And Hermantown again comes in as the favorite. They're the #1 seed. But Johnny, which team might have the best chance of possibly knocking them off?
Well, I think by the rankings you would say Mahtomedi and Orono. However, last year the #2 and 3 seeds, Delano and Mahtomedi, lost in the first round. So it was great for Class A to see some upsets last year. We're hoping for good games this year, and it'll be exciting to get started here.
And Mike, all of these teams right now, all the players, as they're looking forward to today, every one of them thinks they can be the state champion.
Everybody's the same record here. No one's lost yet. So the kids are really pumped. They all feel they have a chance or they wouldn't be here. They came through really tough sections. Every single team that's here struggled to get here. It wasn't an easy trip for them, Todd.
And Johnny, with all of the adrenaline flowing, that can feed some upsets, can it? Do you expect that possibly to happen again today?
Well, it could. You never know. If it's going to happen in this first game, it's going to be because of Jack Kuzi. The goaltender for Mankato East has had a fantastic playoff run, and his Cougars are going to need him here if they're going to get by Mahtomedi.
All right, we're going to preview our first game in just a moment. Again, it's Mahtomedi against Mankato East. It's a lot of excitement. These two teams are ready to go and chase their championship dreams. Our coverage on 45 TV continues after this. It's goosebump time at the XL Energy Center. Mankato East Loyola Cougars against the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. That game coming up, Mike. Mahtomedi is a deep and talented team.
That they are. And maybe their ace in the hole is Grandpa Herb Brooks, looking down from up above at his 2 grandchildren, Tommy and Joe, who play on Mahtomedi, are very good players. Mahtomedi, their strength of their team is their goaltending. They're built from the back end out to the front. They're a very good team, Tom.
And as we look at this graphic, both of the teams, Johnny, have really good, solid goaltending.
They do. You don't make it to the state tournament without great goaltending. As we touched on before the break, Kuzi from Mankato East is one of the best in the state, and the Mahtomedi goalie played great in the section. So they're both going to be needed today.
All right, and Kuzi's going to need to be good. They've got 5 ninth graders on the Mankato East team. Our coverage of this first quarterfinal game will continue after this.
There you see our first match of the day, the Class A quarterfinals here at the XL Energy Center. Mankato East Loyola and Mahtomedi, the Zephyrs, are the number 2 seed. The Cougars come in unseeded. And look who's up here. It's Mark Parrish up in the press box. Did you get lost? You pushed the wrong button in the elevator? What's up?
You know, I'm actually used to being up here. From Jacques, I got pretty normal with this for me up here. And to get this view up from the top, I should be used to being this far away from the ice, but it still stinks for state tourney time.
We're going to need you. No healthy scratch here tonight for the Class A and for these next few days for the Class A tournament here. A good matchup here. Both teams looking for their first state championships, and obviously Mahtomedi coming in as the number 2 seed, Mark. They're a team that thinks that they can win the whole thing.
They do. They've got a lot of confidence. They've got a lot of age. They're an older team. They've got a lot of depth. They've got seniors on their 4th line. They've got 3 lines that can play. That's what they're going to have to lean on going into this game.
You see Mankato East coming out. Great uniforms. I love those. And there's Mahtomedi, the Zephyrs. They've been knocking on the door. They've always been a team that has that potential. They have state tournament pedigree in their history under head coach Jeff Poschel. We'll just see if they can get it done here in these Class A quarterfinals.
Absolutely. It's one of those teams, they have a very heavy AA schedule. They play against those teams for a reason, to prepare themselves for this moment.
Yeah, their conference is a lot of AA teams in that conference that they play in. We're about to drop the puck here, first of 4. But first, let's go downstairs. Let's meet the teams. Here's Dave Wright.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to XL Energy Center and the 74th Annual State Boys High School Hockey Tournament. Today's game is a Class A quarterfinal between the champions of Section 1 with a record of 16-10-2, the Mankato East Loyola Cougars, and the champions of Section 4 with a record of 21-6-1, the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Now let's meet the entire rosters for both teams. First, let's meet Mankato East Loyola. Senior goaltender number 1, Blake Haynes. Sophomore forward number 2, Nick Banfield. Junior forward number 5, Nolan Michaels. Sophomore forward number 6, Matthew Salsley. Senior forward number 7, Noah Honigschlager. Freshman defense number 8, Brett Borkart. Freshman forward number 9, Hayden Gillimet. Junior forward number 10, Adam Meagard. Freshman forward number 11, Jacob Schreiber. Junior defenseman number 12, Jackson Keller. Senior defenseman number 14, Jake Anderson. Senior defenseman number 15, Jacob Oakes. Junior forward number 16, Sam Scholes. Junior forward number 17, Jacob Rundle. Senior defenseman number 20, Parker Steindl. Senior forward number 21, Garrett Regenhorst. Freshman forward number 22, Leighton Liffrey. Freshman forward number 23, Jacob Kozenbach. Senior goaltender number 29, Jack Cozy. And sophomore goaltender number 30, J.D. Craig. The assistant coaches are Tanner Greena, Jeff Humble, and Jeff Dirk. Head coach Adam Freeze, the Mankato East Loyola Cougars. Now let's meet Mahtomedi. Senior defenseman number 3, Cullen Guzzle. Sophomore forward number 4, Colin Hagstrom. Senior defenseman number 5, Aiden Pearson. Junior defenseman number 6, Connor Stoker. Senior defenseman number 7, Sam Ide. Junior defenseman number 8, Noah Skillings. Sophomore forward number 9, Nikolai Dulak. Junior forward number 10, Corey Polarski. Senior forward number 11, Tommy Neal. Junior defenseman number 14, Tommy Broughton. Senior forward number 15, Sam Jensen. Junior forward number 16, Cole McCarver. Junior forward number 17, Joe Paradise. Senior defenseman, junior defenseman number 18, Wyatt Begley. Senior forward number 22, Dallas Duxon. Junior forward number 24, Tom Paradise. Senior forward number 27, Charlie Bartholomew. Junior forward number 28, Dylan Lockie. Junior goaltender number 32, Bailey Huber. And senior goaltender number 35, Josh Campbell. The assistant coaches are Tom Strelo, Jeff Mars, and Alex Rogaszewski. Head coach Jeff Posho, the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Here are the officials assigned for this morning's game. Your linesmen are Tyler Landman of Roseau, Brady Johnson of Roseau. Your game referees, Bob Lucasen of East Grand Forks, Nathan Vole of Roseau. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, we ask you all please stand, remove your hats, and face the flag. Join the Mahtomedi Band under the direction of Mike Moeller as they lead us in our national anthem.
No better way to start a state tournament than with the pep band on hand here at the XL Energy Center. A great 4 days set to begin here with the Class A quarterfinals. Class AA quarterfinals tomorrow here at Class AA in the XL Energy Center. Before we start today's game and the festivities, Chrissy Wendell is behind the benches for us today. Chrissy.
Yes, thanks, guys. Well, junior forward Sam Schultz, who's also the leading scorer for the team, and his brother Judd, who's an assistant coach, are a huge part of that Mankato East community. Their father passed away 12 years ago, but before he passed, He built the rink, Schultz Rink of Dreams, and it's a rink built on a giant shed on the family's farm, and they offered everyone in the community a chance to skate without any charge. Every year, this high school team works hard. They get the rink up and running for all the little kids to skate. Talking to the brothers, and they talked about how it's one of the best memories they have of their father. Guys?
Thank you, Chrissy. That is a wonderful story, and I've seen pictures of that arena. It is really cool. Let's take a look at a picture of that. The Shoals Rink of Dreams in Madison Lake.
One of the many things I absolutely love about the state of hockey. That's what makes it so special. There's passion for the game, and that passion for each other. You see it happen when tragedies happen. The way the hockey community comes together, it's just spectacular.
You know, they get cracks in the floor and the cement, and they have a crack filling party. It looks like everybody comes in and brings their caulking gun, and they're filling the cracks so they can use that during the winter.
That is spectacular.
As they get that ready during the warm weather months, and then get to use it there in beautiful Madison Lake. What a great addition to the community. Zephyrs versus Cougars. Cougars haven't been here since 2006. Mankato East, Loyola, Mahtomedi. Well, they've been here 2015, 2010. Took third in 2015, and we are underway. Mahtomedi is the team in the white, and in the gold and yellow jerseys, that's Mankato East Loyola. And Mahtomedi will get it off the opening draw and dump it in immediately. This Mahtomedi team is a team that is deep in forwards.
And this is exactly how they want to start out. Get it deep, get to work, set the tone.
Here comes East back with Meagard. He'll dump it in, and that'll be a quick icing and whistle here on East. Let's take a look at those starting goalies. Big part of the game, of course, here today. Starting goalies brought to you by Holiday Station Stores, a Minnesota family-owned company. There you see Bailey Huber. And we've heard a lot of Jack Kuzi, and he's a lefty, the goalie for Mankato East.
That always messed with my brain.
Didn't it?
Shooting. Yeah, it was like shooting in a mirror. It just messed with me.
Here's a shot by Mahtomedi. Gets blocked. Here's the Corey Pilarski line centering Tommy Paradise and Colin Hagstrom. And it's cleared again by Mankato East, and that will be an icing again here on the Cougars. Today's keys to the game brought to you by Greater Twin Cities Honda. View aggressive lease and finance offers at GreaterTwinCitiesHondaDealers.com.
And Mankato East is showing it already. Slow the game down. Anytime Jack Kuzi can get a whistle, they're going to get ice the puck. Do not let Mahtomedi's depth take over this game and just roll inside their D zone. They've got to slow it down and not let that happen.
Jacob Konzenbach taking the draw here for Mankato East. Puck comes free to Jacob. Try to tap it out of the zone. Good start here for Mahtomedi. Good forecheck here. Mankato East having a hard time. Here's a giveaway and trying to wrap it around on the backhand. Tommy Paradise, 9 goals on the season. Tommy and Joe are twins, and of course the grandsons of Herb Brooks, along with Mark Parrish. I'm Jim Erickson. Chrissy Wendell is between the benches, giving us some of those inside stories here today at the XL Energy Center. First of 4 days of the State Hockey Tournament 2018, the 74th annual State High School Hockey Tournament.
Pretty awesome to be part of, isn't it, Jim? I just love it. I get giddy every morning.
East trying to clear it out, and they do. Mahtomedi back to set up again, and it goes out of play into the Mankato East bench.
Yeah, this game's going pretty well for Mankato East right now. Even though Mahtomedi's controlling the play, keeping it down in Mankato East's zone, they're not really letting a whole lot happen. There's a play to the net, whistle. Get it out of the zone as fast as they can, even if it's an icing.
Third line's matched up here. Dylan Lallier against Jacob Schreiber. And it's another face-off win here for the Zephyrs. They'll dump it in. There's Jack Kuzi back behind the net. Team record for fewest goals against this season. Of course, Kuzi was a big part of that. Just 53 goals against here this season for Mankato East.
And as we know, this time of year, your goalie has got to be the best player.
Duxon, who had a goal last year in the state tournament, or in his history going back to 2015 for this Mahtomedi club. We get another whistle. A lot of whistles here in the opening 2 minutes of this game. Just one shot on goal in favor of Mahtomedi.
First period of the state tournament, there's a lot of jitters. Even for the older team, for Mahtomedi, they're still a little nervous. They're squeezing the sticks a little bit too hard, passing a little bit too hard. Fresh ice, yeah, you can't do that. It's going all the way down.
Ravenhorst took that draw for the Cougars, ends up back behind the Zephyrs net. Trying to push it up and out is fourth line center Cullen Guzzo. Comes to center, right back to the Mahtomedi line. That's Ide. Sam Ide, a senior, 6'4". He's big and he's a leader and a good offensive D-man with 10 goals on the season for Mahtomedi.
I noticed that right away and I loved it. A goalie that has, or excuse me, a defenseman that has more goals and assists. That's Mark Parrish-like.
Dumped in and around to the half wall here in the Mankato East zone. Centering pass, trying to tip it out in front was Guzzo. Into the corner, working it is Joe Paradise. Works it back into the corner, give and go, back to Joe. And then off of the stick of Aiden Pearson, the defenseman who jumped in, and the puck comes in on Kuzi.
No goalie likes that. None. Let the goalie take it at that point. It's too many times it goes off the defenseman's stick and right up over the goalie or right by him.
Ide keeps it in, trying to tap it out, and Meagard does for East. And now a little tap pass ahead. Bartholomew, nice play, and the quick shot by Dulac, and the save by Kuzi. And you can hear the Mankato East fans. You can tell they go Coos.
And it was a great play by Parker Steindl, by the way, getting back and getting a stick on that, not letting him get all the wood he wanted on that shot.
Bartholomew in the corner, working with Joe Paradise. Starting to move that puck around here is Mahtomedi in this first period. In low, Bartholomew, team captain. Kind of the personality of the team, according to Jeff Poschel. And now Mankato East able to break out here, quickly down and take it out of the play down the near dasher for Mankato East on the drive. It's going to be tipped back out by Mahtomedi. That'll go all the way down, and Kuzi will stop it back behind his net. Jackson Keller moving the puck out of his zone. Long rink wide diagonal, didn't connect to Sosley. Matthew Sosley, a sophomore. Some young talent on this Mankato East team. They get it in towards the net, cleared out by Mahtomedi once again. Now a steal at the line.
It'll be interesting to see what sees with this young guys too.
Sosley gets that in on Huber, and Huber will freeze play and will step aside. No score. 45 TV will have all the games for you. The first of 14 here today. And here to start out our Class A quarterfinals, Mankato East Loyola against Mahtomedi.
I tell you what, I thought I was the most excited guy here, but those fans are proving me wrong, I think.
They get their themes. Did you do themes when you were in high school? Obviously you were playing, but for other sports, or did your fans do themes? It's so easy now with social media and group texts and things like that to get everybody on the same page.
Yeah, the only theme we had was everybody wear baby blue.
Baby blue, that was the theme.
Such a unique color, and we loved it so much.
Former Bloomington Jefferson Jaguar, St. Cloud State Husky, and NHL player. How many NHL teams did you play for, Mark?
Oh, we don't have to go there, Jim. Right. We can just, a lot. There's plenty of patches on the suitcase.
Back here after the timeout, Mahtomedi trying to get going back the other way. Puck was poked away from Hagstrom, right back into the East zone, or in the Mahtomedi zone here by East.
I'm really impressed with both teams. You expect some teams to freeze. Nobody's freezing. They're both skating hard.
Nice move there by Anderson, and the defenseman for Mankato East, a shot right on the money on Huber. Anderson has been playing since the 9th grade. You see him right there. Mankato East Loyola Big 9 Conference Section 1A finished 3rd place in the Big 9. Enrollment just a shade over 1,200, and they are a combined program with Mankato Loyola. But just one player from Mankato Loyola on their roster, and Coach Freese said they usually get 5 or 6, so it's kind of a low number from Loyola for this program on the varsity side of things.
This is interesting to me, because isn't there a Mankato West?
There is a Mankato West.
Mankato, just go Mankato?
That's a discussion for another time. Of course, that's a great rivalry. Cross down, quick shot, big save by Kuzi on the quick turnaround shot. That was in tight. And it looked like that was Skillings, who was in low, and it is cleared back up and out by East.
Mankato East can play their D zone, play in front of Kuzi like that. Just one shot and done. Clear it out. Don't let them get those rebounds, those second attempts. Slow down Mahtomedi, frustrate them, stay in the game longer. You never know what can happen.
We've seen many times just how good goaltending can be the X factor in these one and done state tournament, state championship scenarios. Here comes Aiden Pearson in, gets a low angle shot in on Kuzi again. Shots are even 2-2, but that's going to be going up. That was right on the money.
Great stick by Kuzi.
And another shot This time by Jeff Neal. It's that third line here for Mahtomedi.
And this is one of the games the third line could take over. Their depth. This is where you want to look at them to be playing high or playing hard. That's a tap in right here. Kuzi right there, being awake, being aware that there's a guy coming down back door. That's great goaltending.
That was Guzzo right on the back door for Mahtomedi. Approaching 11 minutes left in the first period, and we are scoreless. Mahtomedi a 4-2 shots advantage. Mahtomedi forced to start back in their own zone. Skillings hands it off to Broughton. Back up ahead to Guzzo. All 6 D men very good defensively for Mahtomedi as they get it in low again. Schreiber trying to defend there. The centering pass by Neal, tipped away, comes back to the line. And it'll be Keller for Mankato East. Gives it up to Jake Anderson. Good puck mover, but he got poke checked at the line by Sam Jensen. And it's picked back up. Neal coming in. No numbers there for Mahtomedi, and he's taken out of the play by Jake Anderson. Playing in career game number 109. We mentioned he's been playing since a freshman. And a steal and a turnover, and Dulac with a quick shot. Back to the corner, back to center, and then dumped in by Mahtomedi.
Those are the kind of players the coaches are looking to lean on. That experience may not be state tournament experience, but at least it's experience.
Here's a steal by Connor Stoker. Slaps it in. Sosley lost it, gets it back through center here for Mankato East with a shot that goes wide. Bailey Huber, the netminder for Mahtomedi, looking off to his left. Konzenbach trying to attack, throws it in from the corner, comes back up to the line. Did he hold it in? Bortkart did. Right out in front. Oh, and the best chance of the game. Sosley was all alone out in front of Huber, and he sent it high.
Exactly what Mankato East was looking for. Slow it down, get an opportunity, and capitalize.
Now right back comes Mahtomedi. They've got some numbers in on Kuzi, and they score. Joe Paradise. Opportunity on one end for East. Mahtomedi capitalizes on the other, and they're on the board first.
How many times do we see that in hockey? It's just a story as old as time, for crying out loud. An absolute great, hardest save for a goalie down at one end. Missed the opportunity. Come back, turnover at your own blue line, which is usually deadly. Quick 3-on-2 play. They get Cusack spreading apart. Now, one thing, I played with a Dave Paradise up in St. Cloud, and that guy could find the back of the net. And if that's the same bloodline, that's all he needs. Look at that. At some point, the goalie has got to spread his legs, open up that 5-hole, does a great job hitting it. Kuzi really doesn't have much of a chance right there. Perfectly placed shot.
Puck movement from one wing to the other is so effective, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Bartholomew feeding Joe Paradise. Paradise his 9th goal of the season. And it's Mahtomedi, the number 2 seeded team, the higher seeded team. Out of the Metro East Conference, that tough Metro East Conference with St. Thomas Academy and Hill Murray. They're off to a 1-0 start. And they'll get motoring right back again. Pilarski in, lost the handle. Shot in on Kuzi, juicy rebound. Tommy Paradise was there for a possible rebound. He has it now back behind the net. Feeds it for Pilarski.
You can see now the momentum. All of a sudden, Mahtomedi's got some extra jump in their step. Mankato's a little frantic now in front of their own goalie.
Puck came right out in front to Hagstrom, and Kuzi again having to make a save. Zephyrs up 1-0. Mahtomedi on the board first. Joe Paradise from Bartholomew and Dulac. 1-0 Zephyrs. And really territorially, they've controlled this game, haven't they?
Absolutely.
They get it out in front. Oh, and a fan as that puck came through the crease. Good opportunity. Cole McCarver was there.
Sometimes when that happens and it kind of comes through a lot of legs and people, the guy back door just doesn't even see it until it's too late, and swing and a miss.
This is really an area where Mahtomedi can really take advantage, because here's their third line out there. Dylan Lallier centering that line, and they had a very good chance there off a face-off win.
And this is where one of the keys, lean on their depth. Not only will it pay dividends today, later down the stretch, the rest of the tournament, they'll have fresher legs than other teams that are going to be playing primarily 2 lines, sometimes even 1.
Jacob Schreiber on the ice. He dumps it in. He's also out there with Nolan Michaels, who was injured early in the season. And the junior making his comeback as the puck again ends up in on Jack Kuzi, who has been very, very busy. And we'll get another face-off here in the Mankato East zone. Shots on goal now up to 11 for Mahtomedi.
I love their mindset. They're coming out and they're shooting the puck, getting as many pucks on Kuzi. They know he's key to that team from Mankato. They're taking it to the net from wherever they can. Get that goalie's legs tired. Down and up, down and up, down and up. To wear him down. By the third period, eventually a couple more bounce in.
Jake Anderson chips it off the window all the way down here for Mankato East. They're going to count on those top defensemen, Jake Anderson especially, to get that puck moving the other way here against his Mahtomedi forecheck. Mahtomedi gets moving again. Neal down the right wing, flipped in the middle, loved by Meagard and dropped. Player got upended, and the long feet ahead here for East. Liffrig in, and there was a collision there. Physical play starting to ramp up.
Great play by the Mahtomedi guy to play the body, not let him get the shot, but I think he got the worst end of that hit.
That happens sometimes. Huber, puck thrown in on him from neutral ice, steers it back behind the net. Long stretch pass. They were trying to feed Guzzo all the way down. Contact made at center. No icing on this. Guzzo goes to work along with Jeff Neal. Two seniors. In fact, they have three seniors on their fourth line. That's how deep they are.
You can't ask for much more than that as a coach. If you usually got young guys who you're scared to throw them out there, to have seniors be able to throw your fourth line out there and give your other guys a break, that's a huge ace in the deck. Ace up your sleeve.
Here's a centering pass for Schultz out in front. Had it blocked. And it'll be cleared down by Mankato East, but they are offside. Here's that earlier hit, Mark.
Great job. Puck right up, or eyes right on the player's chest, goes in there, shoulder on chest, clean hit, but you end up being parallel to the ice on that one.
Liffrig's pretty big. He's 6'2", and he's only a freshman. 12 goals, 8 assists with great hands. For number 22 on the ice for Mankato East Loyola.
What are they feeding those kids there? Freshmen? Are you kidding me?
Sam I. Well, it's the Minnesota Valley. A lot of good vegetables down there. Right? Minnesota Valley. Mahtomedi works it back behind the net. Quick turnaround shot right on the money by Joe Paradise. The Paradise twins very active here in this first period for Mahtomedi. Puck cleared out. They'll have to reset. Sam Ide to the line for Paradise. Tap back the other way by Mankato East. Now back into the East zone. They try to work it up. To center. Tapped ahead. Here's a chance. Schultz comes in on the backhand, but a good back check. Aiden Pearson was there to deny him in the slot. It comes free out in the middle. Tapped around Pilarski from Mahtomedi. Carries it to center. Little stick work there. He gets back up. Tried to shoot it through a screen. Was blocked. And it will be cleared out by Mankato East.
Mankato East has got to find a way to get a little more O-zone time, more consistent O-zone pressure. They're just one hit and out. And there's not a way to play Mahtomedi. You got to pin them in there and for a little while.
The one time they did get that great look out in front.
Exactly.
Pilarski comes in on the right wing, shoots on a deflection into the corner. Held in Tommy Paradise. Tommy played on the JV last year, came in this year wanting to make the varsity, and he did. Skating on that number 2 line, 9 goals on the season, brings it in, bears down backhand. Defense nicely by steady defenseman Jake Anderson. But again, Mahtomedi still working. They get it to the middle. Mankato East trying to sweep it out. Can't quite do so. Meagard working there for the Cougars. Hagstrom for Mahtomedi along with Tommy Paradise. Long shift here for both clubs. And of course the defensive team Mankato East finally getting out to center. Ravenhorst enters the zone. Got a man out in front. Meagard goes down along the end boards. Meagard taps it around. Puck finds its way to the half wall. Mahtomedi will break it out. No, nice job holding it in. That was Ravenhorst, who was heading to the bench. But it was a productive leave of the ice, wasn't it?
That's why you skate hard to the bench, skate hard off the ice. You never know how many times it just might hit your stick.
We are going to get an icing here on Mahtomedi. Final 4 minutes of the first period. Physical play ramping up. Mahtomedi up 1-0. The Fan Cam is brought to you by 45 TV.
Always one of my favorite cams of the state tourney. See all the kids get into it. I remember those tournaments being a kid coming and cheering on Jefferson just as vividly as I do playing in the tournament.
Your thoughts on the penalty box cam, though?
I've never been a big fan, but that was more just because I'm shy of cameras and afraid I'm going to break them.
How many times did you squirt water at it?
Never. No, didn't throw a towel, didn't try and move it, nothing. Nope, no, never. Not me.
Mahtomedi gaining the puck in their zone off of the face-off win. Dallas Duxon bump there. Guillemette, Hayden Guillemette, just a freshman. He's a little freshman that can draw penalties. East failing to clear the puck out. Player goes down. Our first penalty of the game is going to be on Mahtomedi. And the first power play of the game I just mentioned, Hayden Guillemette. He draws penalties. What did he just do?
Exactly. Get your feet moving. Move your feet. You're going to draw penalties. Duxon, he's getting reached a little bit, and he's trying to lift the stick. He's not trying to. He's trying to lift the guy's stick right there. But once you get it up under the glove and up high like that, it does not take much not to lose your balance, but to lose the puck, lose control. It's an easy call.
Mankato East power play on the season, 17%. Penalty kill, 89% for Mahtomedi. Pretty good. Today's power play is brought to you by Catholic United. And the puck will be cleared.
And a tremendous opportunity right here for Mankato East to tie this game up after being fairly dominated in this first period. Get back into the locker room after 1-1-1. They'll take that all day long.
Duxon for hooking at 13:38. Huber, the goaltender, clears it all the way down, helps his team out on the penalty kill. It'll be Jake Anderson quarterbacking this power play for Mankato East. Up high is Borkart. Borkart from Anderson. Anderson playing catch up top with a minute 20 left in the power play to the back door. Well designed play, but off the stick of Liffrig, who has it here at the blue line for the Cougars. Borkart, Sausley struggling a bit, having it stripped and then cleared all the way down. Nice job on the penalty kill by Connor Stoker, who is a third set of defensemen, but he's one of their best penalty killers.
I like the look that Mankato East is doing right here with that umbrella. It creates a lot of opportunities. You can turn it to a half anytime you let. And Liffrig, the way he's moving around, boy, that confuses PKers when there's so much motion just from one guy trying to figure out what that fifth guy is, and almost snuck one back door.
That 89% penalty kill here for Mahtomedi, getting the puck in on Jack Kuzi. And Kuzi will freeze play, and there will be a face-off in the defensive zone here for the team on the power play. No matter where you're watching us from, welcome to the XL Energy Center, the state of hockey. Minnesota, 4-day celebration of high school hockey. Right off a Karam shorthanded chance.
Steindl again making a big defensive play right there. I don't know if Kuzi might have gotten over there, might have been back to that post, but he made sure it didn't get to him.
Mahtomedi has an amazing 10 shorthanded goals entering this tournament, and that was almost number 11.
Boy, it's Mahtomedi's good. It's hard to even tell they're in the PK until until Mankato East sets it up.
Yes, Schulz tried to bring it into the zone to set up, and Mahtomedi steers him right back. And that'll be Steindl. Steindl, good offensive defenseman, 6 goals on the season. His shot deflects into the corner. Ends up to Meagard. Meagard from above the slot sends it wide. Meanwhile, Duxon is back out on the ice. We're back skating 5-on-5, approaching the final minute of the first period. 1-0 Mahtomedi. With a breakout to Duxon. He'll dump it in. Actually, it's effective as Sam Jensen finds it, sends it, and it'll carry him off the end wall right in on Jack Kuzi. Kuzi, who's a senior, has been playing a lot of hockey for Mankato East. You see him there. He has been just a stonewall for them and has had an outstanding career.
I personally love it that goalies, when they get to see, that just tells a lot about character, because most teams won't even think about putting a goaltender as your captain. It just tells you exactly what this team thinks of that goalie.
School record holder in goals against and save percentage, as you might imagine.
He's so active as well. He's like having a third defenseman too.
Bartholomew from the half wall, centering, one-timer by Joe Paradise, and then off of the rebound, another save by Kuzi.
And he stayed down a little bit there. I hope he didn't get hurt.
Dulac working it around to the side of the net, bouncing to the slot, comes right out in front for Bartholomew. That gets blocked, and a 3-on-2 developing. Mankato East at the line. They're onside. To the front of the net, going to the net was the defenseman Jackson Keller. Nothing materialized there.
That's one of the things Mahtomedi does really well. One of the things that the game has changed so tremendously the last 10 years is that back pressure. Those forwards coming back and not giving the players, the 3-on-2, the odd man rush, time.
Keller swings it around for Mankato East. Kodzenbach. Bartholomew, the centerman, trying to trap it there, wait for the horn, and that's exactly what will happen. Good first period here by Mahtomedi, 16 shots on goal, and I'm sure if you're Mankato East, you're thinking right now that you're fortunate that it's 1-0. Go into the intermission and regroup.
Absolutely, being outshot 16-3. Yeah, everybody on that bench is rightfully going out there and thanking Mr. Kuzi. He's on top of his game right now, and this is right there where he kind of stayed down. I was a little nervous, maybe had trouble with the groin.
All right, let's go downstairs. Chrissy Wendell is on the Mahtomedi bench.
Coach, how important was it to get that early goal, especially playing against a solid goaltender?
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's huge in any game, but you know, to kind of it settles the nerves a little bit in the tournament here. So they moved the puck well, and it was good to see it go in.
Coach, you had a big kill here at the end of the period. You got some momentum. How do you carry that into the second?
Well, the kill's been good for us all year long. I thought we did a nice job. You know, whenever you have to kill a penalty late in the period, it's equally or especially good to get that under your belt. You know, it was a good first period for us, but you know, the message right now is there's 2 periods left. The game's far from over.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys.
All right, thank you very much, Chrissy. Good job. Jeff Poschel in his 25th season at Mahtomedi. Played at Northern Michigan. He also played high school hockey at Hill Murray and has done a great job in Mahtomedi. Picked up his 400th career win earlier.
That's what stood out to me, 400 wins. Not only is that awesome, but thank you very much for working with these high school kids. Sometimes it's a thankless job. Thank you, Mr. Poschel.
All right, one set of 17 minutes in, 1 period in here. The state hockey tournament. Mahtomedi is up 1-0.
Welcome back to the XL Energy Center. The number 2 seeded Mahtomedi Zephyrs have jumped out to a 1-0 lead over Mankato East. It's a tight one, largely because of the goaltending. We'll get to that in just a moment. But Mike, this game is pretty tight despite an imbalance in the shots on goal.
I think that Mankato maybe surprised Mahtomedi a little bit there. If I'm the coach at Mahtomedi, I'd be happy with the 1-0 lead, the way Mankato is playing and the way my team is playing. I haven't made many mistakes.
And Johnny, Mankato East really, especially in the first period, just wanted to keep this game close.
Absolutely. It's their first time here in a long time, and you could tell they were a little nervous. They played tight in their own end, but although they only had 3 shots, they had some really good chances, and if they can get one here early in the second, it'll be an interesting game.
And let's take a look at the 1 goal of the game, scored by the grandson of the famed Herb Brooks.
Herbie will be happy with this. You'll see Mahtomedi gets a little bit of a break here. The puck bounces into the zone off a Mankato player, and Bartholomew makes a great pass over to Joey Paradise, and he just buries it. There was no question about this one. A great passing play by Bartholomew. Heads up. He knew that Joe was there. Great play.
And again, that's the only one that Cusey has let through here, Johnny. He's played very well.
He's played really well, and for the most part, Mankato's done a very good job of keeping everything to the outside. They talk about protecting the house and not letting him get rebounds, and he's been able to make the first save with the exception of the Paradise goal, and it's going to probably take a tip, a rebound, or a breakaway to get something by him. He's done a great job.
All right, today's stats are brought to you by U.S. Bank, the power of possible. And there's the shots on goal differential we were talking about, 16-3, scoring chances 4-1. But the key thing is, Mike, it's just a 1-0 game, so anything is possible.
It is. The one stat that I was surprised at there were the hits. I thought Mankato would have had more hits the way their defensemen were playing. They were really tough in front of the net.
So what does Mankato East need to do in this next period? Obviously, they want to keep it close, but they'd like to get some more shots on goal.
You know, if it stays 1-0 going into the third, they're fine. I do think they need the next goal, whether they get that in this period or the next period. They need the next goal, but the longer they stay at 1-0 with the way their goaltender's playing, they got a great chance.
All right, well, Joe Paradise has Mahtomedi on top by a score of 1-0 in our first quarterfinal game of the day. Our coverage on 45 TV continues after this. The 2018 edition of the State High School Hockey Tournament is now on the air. Mahtomedi 1, Mankato East 0. Mike, what does Mahtomedi need to do? They're probably a little frustrated. 16 shots on goal, 1 goal. They really would like to get the next one.
If I'm Jeff Proschel, I'm telling the boys, just be calm. We're ahead. We're where we want to be. The next one will come. Don't worry about it. If they score, not a big deal. We've got a lot of offense. We've been having more luck than they have getting the puck out of our zone.
Johnny, Mankato East has a lot of faith in their goaltending, but they can't count on that alone.
No, they're going to have to get the puck into the Mahtomedi zone, and if they've had some chances, they just have to bear down and bury a couple of these.
Mike, speaking of Jeff Proschel, he's got some history in this tournament. He was a goaltender for Hill Murray, and we have a flashback to him, and he was a good goaltender.
78, 79, and 80 in the tournament, and he's minus his beard, but you have to take a look at the helmet, folks, at the end of this. You really need to take a look at what he wore and they wore back in the day. What do you think, Johnny?
That looks crazy. I can't believe anybody would wear something like that. But it's cool. You don't really see goalies become coaches very often. Yeah, and he's obviously doing a great job.
He later starred in Friday the 13th, part 8, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah. A lot of excitement, a lot of history in this tournament, and as you heard, the 75th anniversary is coming up. So we're going to be sharing a lot of these memories over the course of this tournament and especially next year. And now we've got the next period coming up. Let's go up. Let's go down to Chrissy.
Hey guys, thanks. I talked to Coach Adam Friesen between the periods. He liked the way his team played. He thinks they need to capitalize on those opportunities. He especially brought up that backdoor opportunity right away in the beginning of the game. Overall, he just wants to see more shots. Guys?
Yeah, no doubt about that. 3 shots on goal for Mankato East Loyola. They had one grade A that we can remember, all out in front. Great look out in front, and they need more of those chances here in this second period, and just more shots on goal, more offensive zone time.
And if they happen to miss again, they just can't let Mahtomedi go right down and score. It's kind of the nail in the coffin that they've got to avoid as much as they can. It'll be interesting to see how this young team responds coming out in the second. This next goal for either team is enormous.
Mankato East 10-2-1 in their last 13 games. They are also a young team, just 6 seniors. And Coach Friesen mentioned when we talked to him before the tournament, their young players have really surprised them. One of the reasons why they've been able to make this run to the state tournament, first one since 2006. Mahtomedi was here a year ago, upset by Northfield and lost to Delano. So they're trying to get into the semifinals for the first time in a few years.
Usually people look at experience as an important thing. Sometimes youth and exuberance is better. They just don't even realize what's going on. They don't understand the pressure. They just go out there, relax, and have fun. They can be deadly.
Mahtomedi going to work here. Bartholomew's the centerman, shot right in on Kuzi, and Kuzi having to be active here in the early going. Shot from the point by Ide, right in on Kuzi, and that one caught him high.
That's not something you want to see if you're Mankato East's bench or their fans or anybody. Too early in the game for him to be feeling bumps and bruises, but that's exactly what Mahtomedi has got to do. Just get him exhausted, get him sick of seeing shots, getting into his position, try and wear him down physically and mentally.
Got that one just underneath the mask and may have got inside of the old gobbler.
Yeah, there's just one little spot that can get that collarbone. No padding whatsoever, and that I've been told it hurts like the dickens.
Mankato East is in the yellow uniforms. Mahtomedi the white. Here's a wraparound attempt by Tommy Paradise, denied by Mankato East. And the Cougars will clear it all the way down, and we'll get an icing and a face-off once again. We'll join Jack Kuzi down in his zone. The most comprehensive prep sports show in the market, Minnesota's Prep Spotlight. It's Sunday nights at 9:30 on 45 TV. First of the 4 games. The next one after this, Litchfield, Dassel, Cokato, and Orono. That'll be the 3rd time those teams have faced off here this season. Another clear by Mankato East, and it'll be another icing here. 1 minute in, a couple of shots on goal for Mahtomedi. Their advantage is 18-3 for the game, and you see it there, 1-0's efforts.
And yet again, early on here, just icing the puck. They get it in their end, just icing the puck, not letting Mahtomedi get anything going offensively, trying not to let him get anything going. Another quick play to the net, whistle.
Boozy, one thing you see him there that Coach Adam Freese talked about is how hard he has worked to improve throughout his career. Off of the draw, shot just high. Off the end boards. Held in by Mahtomedi once again, trying to work it out as Liftfrig, that big freshman body. And now he takes the long stretch pass, got tangled up in his skates, brings it across the Mahtomedi line. Didn't have numbers, the Zephyrs got back. Little bump there by Ravenhorst, freed the puck up deep in the Zephyr zone. Now a steal, Liftfrig. This is something Mankato East needs to do. They need to be more physical in that Mahtomedi zone.
Absolutely. That's the key to ozone pressure. Puck possession. If you don't have the puck, you better knock the guy off the puck and take it from him.
Pilarski breakout. Hagstrom a little bit behind him. He's off on the line change. And it'll be the Cougars' long stretch pass ahead to the blue line. Ravenhorst feeds it. Shot by Meagard, and he scores.
That is exactly what Mankato East needed. Young team, you don't know how they would react going down 2.
The helmets, the old Siamese twins.
Those are really close teammates right there.
They are.
That is something you do not see every day.
They are hooked on a feeling.
What a great stretch pass right here. Just a good area pass, lays it over there. Soft spot, beats the goalie, low glove. I bet Hubert probably want that one back. I don't think he's too pumped about that, but that's those soft spots. A goal scores goal, and there it is.
So those are 2 different helmets. One's the fishbowl, and the other one's the cage.
Yeah, usually you don't see that with the iTech. With a fishbowl, there's nothing to catch on to except for the hooks. It's usually 2 cages where one breaks, and they look like they're kissing.
What a shot by Meagard. What a pass by Ravenhorst. And that long stretch pass, that was the key, wasn't it, Mark?
Absolutely. It sprung everybody. Ravenhorst very intentionally takes a second, draws the defenseman from Mahtomedi over, lays it over into the area. It's not a direct pass, just lets him skid into it. Great shot. Soft spot, short side. Those are the hardest spots for a goaltender to save soft spots. Low glove, low blocker.
Adam Meagard getting his 9th of the season, and it's cleared by Mahtomedi, but it will be all the way down, and it will be an icing. We'll take another look at it.
Yeah, that's perfectly. You've seen that. I've seen that on a power play breakout as a set breakout, and they just ran it to perfection. The look on his face is spectacular right there. Mr. Meagard looked a little surprised maybe that went in, but boy, that's awesome. I got the chills watching that puck go in.
Parker Steindl, described as a good offensive defenseman, is the man that we need to credit for that long stretch pass. He got the assist, and that started it. If they don't connect on that, and Ravenhorst does the little behind the back backhand pass, Meagard doesn't get it for the goal.
And not just connecting on the pass, making the pass, noticing it, he saw it. A lot of times you'll see it where the guy's open and he'll be banging his stick on the ice, and the defenseman is just looking for a closer, shorter, easier play.
So we're tied at 1. Brand new hockey game here in the second period. Welcome to the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. This is the way things went last year in what a lot of people said was the best Class A tournament in memory. Hermantown needed 3 overtime games to win the title last year.
Every way you want to break down last year was awesome. It's exactly what you're hoping for.
Neal up high, wrist shot, eyed, blocked, but held in. Covering his slot was Schreiber, but they can't clear. Kept in again here by Mahtomedi. They'll dump it in deep. Sam Jensen, that 4th line out there, mucking it up here. They're the seniors. Not afraid to be physical in the offensive zone, as you can see. Up to the point, it does sneak past Ide, and Mahtomedi back to their line to reset.
That's all part of Mahtomedi's game plan that I love, to wear down the opponent, just wear him down physically. It's tiring. You just get hit in your own. It's tiring just playing in the defensive zone, let alone everybody's hitting you.
In low is Bartholomew, the center, playing a 200-foot game, but his pass goes by everybody, and that clear will be an icing. Stuck together. I'm stuck on you. And we're tied at 1. You're pretty proficient with your tweets, aren't you, Mark?
I had to. Somebody had to twist my arm pretty big to get into that thing, and I kind of sort of fell in love with it. Don't tell anybody.
Here's Mahtomedi in their own end. Broughton, Tommy Broughton, the junior, rock solid defenseman for them, getting it through center. Now it's intercepted. Liffrey comes the other way, 2-on-1 with Ravenhorse. Throws it in off the glass. Mankato East has got kind of a different purpose here, different bounce in their step now, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. The momentum's shifted here. Now Mahtomedi is the team turning it over at the blue line. They're losing the blue line battles. You don't want to give any team, no matter what, I don't care what the shots are, I don't care what age they are, you start to give teams momentum and confidence, and that game can get out of control in a heartbeat.
12:34 here in the second period. We were 1-0 after one if you're just joining us. Watching us around the state of hockey or around the world. Prep 45.
I love how active Kuzi's stick is.
Here's an opportunity here for East in and the shot wide. That was their center on that second line, Konzenbach, who jumped in, got a shot.
And again, they're Broughton getting a stick on it. They're doing both teams doing such a good job of getting their sticks on players when they're about to release that shot, just to throw it off enough to either miss the net or take it off to make it an easier save.
Junior Tommy Paradise tips it in. His partner on his line is Hagstrom. They can't hold it in. The long feed ahead. Salsley. Shot gets blocked. Getting in the way of that was the defenseman.
Another good
Begley.
stick. Another good stick.
Begley with a backhand. Onto the stick of Hagstrom. Long rink wide. Tommy Paradise tracks it down and trying to go stick side on the left-handed goaltender. Missed it in the corner, and they carry him all the way back to the Mahtomedi end.
Boy, 2-on-1, you really don't want to miss the net there. You got a guy going in the slot for a rebound. At least try and hit the pad.
Sam Scholes.
Not that he was trying to miss the net, but you just really want to avoid it at all costs.
Back comes Bagley here for Mahtomedi. Dumps it in. Changes for the Zephyrs. Up ahead for Scholes. Past him. Icing here on Mankato East. 11:02 here, second period. 1-1. And Mahtomedi Metro team, Metro East Conference. We talked about that. St. Thomas Academy finished first. Hill Murray third. Mahtomedi second in that tough conference. Their ninth state tournament appearance. Looking for their first title.
Sure, Zephyr alum Lee Balsvik is down there somewhere screaming her head off for Mahtomedi.
Beautiful area of the Metro, just off of 694 Century Avenue. Tapped around. Mahtomedi back to get it. Here they come the other way. Cole McCarver with some speed and backhand saved by Kuzi. The rebound was available as they were crashing the net. And off of that, Aiden Pearson, the defenseman who was crashing, knocked that net way off of its moorings. Then we get a whistle.
Yeah, I always get a kick out of how that seems to happen a lot when they're frantic. Well, that was Mahtomedi. That should go out the zone.
Pearson.
That should go outside the zone there.
And I don't know if he was pushed enough there by Steindl. They were engaged a little bit, but I would say his momentum took him into the net.
I agree completely.
But tough to call that at full speed, of course.
I think it's fast in the stands around TV. When you're on the ice, you learn a whole new appreciation for these refs and players. It is the world's fastest game for a reason.
Mankato East doing a better job getting the puck out of their zone, as they had maybe an odd man here with Liffrig going to the net, but they'll whistle it down offside.
Power play for somebody.
Along with that whistle, we're going to get a penalty as well, and it'll be our first penalty called on Mankato East Loyola, a trip. And we'll see the Mahtomedi power play for the first time today.
Good chance for Mahtomedi to steal that momentum back from Mankato East.
23% on the power play here for Mahtomedi. You see.
Got to control your stick. It was hard to say if he got the puck first there. Obviously, the ref didn't feel so. That's a trip.
Power play for the Zephyrs. Power play brought to you by Catholic United. Trying to get it to the doorstep. Cougars able to clear it out. There's Anderson, but he can't clear it.
That's one of those areas Mankato can't happen. You can't give him extra bullets on the power play, especially if somebody that's clicking at 23%. If you get that on your stick, it's got to go 200 feet.
Schreiber holds it in. Brings it around. Bartholomew centering here on the power play. Up to Skillings. Skillings back up high. Bartholomew In low, shot by Dulac into the corner, and that caroms out.
No, you can't miss far side. But I think he was trying to make a pass. I think the Mankato East defenseman made a great play on whoever the Mahtomedi player was in front of the net and lifted his stick right before that pass. I think it was a pass. I don't think he was shooting.
Mahtomedi getting it in deep. The hooking or tripping penalty on Ravenhorst. 54 seconds remaining in that penalty and this Mahtomedi power play. Up high is Broughton to the near side wing. Shot by Tommy Paradise. Tommy gets it back. The junior to Pilarski, and then up high and a wrist shot just wide by Broughton. And then the rebound is flipped up and out of play into the netting with 35 seconds left in that power play.
All right, let's take a look here. See where his eyes are. What's he looking at? Oh, that's a shot. I stand corrected. Now I'm going to go back to, yeah, you can't miss far side from there.
Well, you referenced that Kuzi, we talked about this, Kuzi is a lefty, so the glove is on his right hand. You don't see that very often. How different is that for a shooter?
I'm not joking that it messed with me. I would hesitate even a little bit because you just kind of get into your head as a shooter, as a goal scorer, where you like to go, especially in tight. You kind of have your mind made up because the goalie's going to be right on top of you. So you could almost see where he hesitated for a second, and that may very well have been the case, that he just saw that glove on the wrong side and it messed with him.
Mankato East able to work it back out to center. Cougars back in their own zone. Turning and sending it the length of the ice. Salzy right on the netminder Huber with 1 second left in the penalty. And it is a penalty kill for Mankato East Loyola. One shot on goal on that Mahtomedi power play. We approach 8 minutes left. We pass the midway mark of the hockey game. All tied at 1. Long pass to the blue line. Meagard, our goal scorer here for Mankato East, had it, lost it, comes back to get it shy of his line. Through the center circle. Ravenhorst shot gloved. Huber's got it, and we'll step aside. First of our 4 quarterfinals, Class A. We're tied at 1. I'm partial to King of Queens on 45 TV.
Yeah. Very good.
I relate to Kevin James.
Kevin James is spectacular.
Boudreau's in the Zephyr zone, and here they break out. Sam Jensen, it's that fourth line, and the puck got stuck on the left wing. Jumping in there is Wyatt Begley, and a shot through by Neal.
You know, Mahtomedi's missing the net more and more as this game goes on. Kuzi may just be getting in their head. They might feel like they've got to have a perfect shot on, or they got to pick a corner. It's exactly what great goaltending can do, and once that happens, that confidence starts getting shaky. Again, you can take over that game real quick.
Here they come right back, and Jake Anderson dumps it in. Huber stops it behind the net for Mahtomedi, but their breakout is errant, and back to work is Leighton Liffrig. There's Meagard. Mankato East is so much more physical in the offensive zone. A shot goes wide.
Yeah, they stay very tight in front of Kuzi, which is good. I think they're saving their legs, and they have to. It's against a team that's very deep. They want to have some energy left in the third period. They're pretty much roll 4 defensemen, so I think it's a good play. But yeah, I like how their forwards forecheck and use their body and play physical.
Cougars dumped it in. Mahtomedi comes all the way back, waiting for some help was Lallier. East throws it out, and then Mahtomedi dumps it right back in the Cougars zone. Jackson Keller there almost coughed it up, but he banks it off the end boards for Anderson. Anderson ahead. Salzy dumps it into the Mahtomedi zone. Teams chase there. Pearson for Mahtomedi there first.
Mankato going for that stretch pass again, and it looked like they were going to try and redirect it either to the right winger's corner or maybe directly to the right winger, flying down the wall again. Hey, if it works, keep doing it.
Borkhardt holds the zone at the near point. Hasenbach to the half wall, being bothered. Mahtomedi gets a piece of it. They get it out to center. Ide still with it. Backhand, and a little bit behind Bartholomew, the centerman, who is going down the slot.
Horrible feeling. Going to the net, you're all alone, and all of a sudden you realize the puck's already by you.
Thrown in by Mahtomedi. That hit the linesman. Borkhardt will grab it. Brett Borkhardt, another big freshman for this big freshman class. They're big in numbers, and they're also big in stature and size for Mankato East and Loyola.
just not fair.
Steindl, stretch pass. Salsley, shot, glove, knocked down, and Huber finds it. They had a guy going to the net once again, and there that stretch pass, breakout pass, working for Mankato East. 1-1, second period from the XL Energy Center. Well, Mark, you don't get here unless you have good goaltending.
Most important position on the ice. That's why they compare it to quarterbacks in football. Sometimes they get a little too much credit, but a lot of times they get a lot of heat.
See our two guys there, Huber and Kuzi, prominently on that list. High save percentages. Shots are 21-7. Mahtomedi, we're tied at 1, getting close to 5 minutes left, second period. In the first of our quarterfinals, the winner gets either Litchfield, Basil Cokato, or number 3 seed Orono. Working his way, Ravenhorst battling his way across the line, and will get that puck in deep. Zephyrs in their own end with Tommy Broughton. Today's closed captioning brought to you by Touchstone Energy. Together we save. Mahtomedi having to retreat to center.
I'm really impressed with Mankato East's defensemen. They're gapped, they're sticks, they're on the ice. They're aware of people around them. They're really playing well.
Liffrig gains the zone. Nice little toe drag to the middle. The backhand back to the forehand. Hits the side of the net.
That kid's a freshman?
And he's 6'2".
Good Lord. Can't wait to watch him for a few more years here.
Back comes Mahtomedi. Toe drag here by Joe Paradise, and he hit the pipe. Rebound East, end-to-end action. Liffrig has the puck again on the near wing. Both teams opening it up a little bit.
I'm sure Huber's probably excited about that. On the flip side, only having 6-7 shots, you don't really get a feel for it. You don't feel like you can get into the game, which makes it tougher.
Mahtomedi bounces it out to center. Olin Hagstrom. Coach Poschel on the Bulldog. Now feet up ahead. Off the pipe. They score! Sam Scholes. And Mankato East has taken the lead.
Eight shots, doesn't matter, right? They've taken it over. They've kind of stole the momentum. It seemed to even out a little bit. Boy, that stretch pass is working for them. They're looking for it. Their heads up right away. Their forwards are ready for it. Their transition is so quick. Bagley even gets his stick on it. Probably helps Schultz out a little bit there. I don't know if that's where Schultz was going, but it definitely threw off Huber. Definitely threw off Huber. When you get that redirect right in front of him like that, and inside the post, that's an awfully tough stop right there.
Konzenbach made a nice play. It was towards him at center, shy of the blue line, and he just kind of advanced it, kept it going forward.
One thing I think I'd kind of like to hear from Chrissy is how's the bench moods down there? How's the moods on each bench? Is anybody getting down or anybody getting a little too excited or anything like that?
Sam Scholes getting his 9th of the season. And Chrissy, he probably scored a few of those in that rink of dreams, huh?
I think that's where you learn it all, right? Playing pond hockey. They certainly have the smiles like they're playing outside. Very calm bench down over here. You could tell in the timeout, that TV timeout, very loose for being a 1-1 game. You could tell they had a lot of momentum.
Oh, good look there by Corey Pilarski. Thank you, Chris. He has a great story to start this hockey game. Scholes family giving all kinds of young men and women and girls and boys a chance to play hockey in Madison Lake. Cleared all the way down by Mankato East. It'll be an icing here with 2:32 left to go in period number 2. And there's the picture again, the rink of dreams.
If this doesn't pull on your heartstrings, you just don't have a heart. It's just incredible. Just a great story. The way the family, the way the community, everybody supporting it. Like you said, to get together and have a cement mixing party. I mean, that's just awesome.
A regulation rink, you know, a lot of backyard rinks, but that's a regulation rink under a roof away from the elements.
My brother's legs would have fallen off if we would have had one of those in Bloomington.
And the more opportunities you have to skate, more opportunities to grow the game.
Exactly. And that's the most important part. The young age, and even through high school, teach them to love the game. Head up. Great play. Oh, what hands by knocking that down there. Yeah, he was definitely shooting to that side, so it'd be hard to say how much that stick actually affected it. Definitely did somewhat, but yeah, what hand-eye to knock that down with one hand at full speed.
Konzenbach and Borkart getting the assist for the Cougars on that one. Schultz getting his 9th of the season. He had 3 in the section playoffs. He scores big goals.
We always look for those guys this time of year. Those are the character guys, the guys that just seem to be calm, that can find that poise in the midst of desperation and panic.
2-1 Cougars. Now Mahtomedi has to try to push back. Meanwhile, Lifrig takes the lead pass. Left wing shot, deflects, and that'll be up into the netting. Out of play and a whistle. With 1:40 left to go, we got Mark Parrish. I'm Jim Erickson. Chrissy Wendell is downstairs. Of course, we got a number of people working at the desk as well. They'll break it down here in between periods. There is head coach Adam Freese, 5th year at Mankato East. Played at Minnesota State Mankato for the Mavericks. Boy, they're having a great season. They could be one of the top 4 seeds in the NCAA tournament.
Harrington is doing such a good job down there. He is just taking that over and taking it to another level, similar to what Bob Motzko did for St. Cloud.
And both Coach Hastings and Coach Motzko, both former Huskies.
Coach Hastings was actually the first one that recruited me to St. Cloud as the assistant coach, oddly enough.
Loose puck out in front. Mahtomedi trying to work it. Paradise with a shot that bounces wide. Pilarski, Tommy Paradise, and Colin Hagstrom. That line out there right now for Mahtomedi gets cleared. Skilling's back to his line. Skilling's kind of a defensive stopper. He'll be put on the top line of the other teams, and he has been throughout his season.
You can see Mahtomedi is not quite skating for each other. They're a little tight right now. It's kind of one guy doing all the work or trying to do too much. Guys aren't supporting enough. And Mankato East is standing tall at the blue line in front. They're not giving them any room at their blue line to make any plays, to come in clean. That's eye candy for Mr. Kuzi.
I was just going to say, and meanwhile for Mankato East, they've given their outstanding goaltender with the C on his uni. You see him right there. They've given him the lead.
And I'm guessing he doesn't give too many up in the 3rd period the way he plays.
Draw to his left. Stick side for him. Keller tried to sweep it out, didn't have enough mustard on that, so Mahtomedi holds it in. Up in the middle, Lallier. That is shot from the slot right on the money, but Kuzi squares up, makes the save, holds on.
His spatial awareness is spectacular. The way he follows the puck, follows the play, and gets out and fronts the shot. Watch him get to the top of the crease right here and get out there and take down the angle with his big body. So there's really not even much to shoot for. It's almost got to go through him, and with how good of a goaltender he is, I don't think that happens very often.
Critical final minute here of the 2nd period in a 2-1 game for both teams. Lifrig, long pass to center just out of the reach of Meagard. Has one of the 2 goals here today for the Cougars. And off of the check, it's pulled the other way. Sam Ide moving the puck. 6'4" senior defenseman gets it in low off of Kuzi and up and out of play.
And that's the one thing Mahtomedi can look for, is the way Kuzi, he's ready for that backdoor pass, so you can kind of cheat and maybe beat him short side. See how he's not exactly fronting that shot. He's ready for that backdoor play. It's kind of the Martin Brodeur, where you can kind of catch him cheating every now and then.
Kuzi, decent size at 6'1".
Is there anybody under 6 feet tall in high school hockey anymore?
They're there. Centering pass, backhand out by Bartholomew. You're seeing Bartholomew's line out there with Dulac and Paradise. Big block out in front by Konzenbach. He went down, took that one from the team, a little shaken up. He is going to skate back to his bench area, but that's a key block. Final seconds of the 2nd period, holding it at 2-1.
That's what it takes. If you're playing the game right, you're going to have some ice bags on you after the game.
So 2-1. Mankato East outscoring Mahtomedi in the 2nd period, 2-0. And still just 8 shots on goal during the game, but they're making the most of those shots on goal. Let's go downstairs to Chrissy.
Coach, you got that. We talked about having those nerves you said you thought played a factor in the 1st period. You get that early goal. How much does that change that here in the 2nd?
We know we can play now. I think the shots were pretty much even there in the 2nd period. I thought we sustained some nice pressure in there. Kept them to the outside in the defensive zone, and our goalie's going to stop pucks from the outside, so we're confident in that.
Yeah, you have a great goalie in Jack Kuzi. How much confidence does that give your team?
A lot. You saw it right now in this game so far. I mean, we're going to just keep it to the outside, and I think we'll be okay.
Great. Good luck in the 3rd.
Thank you.
Great job, Chrissy. Thank you. You asked, Mark, and I have it for you. Mankato East this season, when leading after 2 periods, 14-2-0.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty darn good stat. I tell you what, and I can see it. The coach is right. The way they collapse in front of Kuzi, they keep everything to the outside. Their sticks are active on rebounds. They play a spectacular D-zone. One of the best D-zones I've seen in high school hockey this year, that's for sure.
Unseeded Mankato East Loyola 2. Second-seeded Mahtomedi 1. Back for more after this.
And we're back, and Johnny Pohl, this could be an upset special in the making.
It could be, and if it ends up happening, a lot of it's going to be because of the stretch passes Mankato East was making all period. I don't think their left wing ever came into the defensive zone. Any time that Mahtomedi went for a change, Mankato pulled their left wing out of the zone. You see Mankato changing here. Mahtomedi changing, they fired up, and there's another chance. Liffrig came in on a rush and almost dangled and scored. And you'll see here's the second goal, a nice pass by Borchet. And I don't know if Kazenbach is trying to direct this to Schultz or not, but it ends up on his stick and he buries.
Well, and Mike, Mahtomedi still has a big edge in shots, but it seems like Mankato East is getting the better chances.
That they are. And one thing is Mankato East is kind of paying the price. You'll notice those goals were scored from inside the slot. And you'll see the chances here for Mahtomedi. You know, they have chances, but they're coming from outside the slot. They're going to have to begin to grind to get back in this game.
And the stats are brought to you today by U.S. Bank, the power of possible. And the shots were a little more even though there's a big edge for Mahtomedi in that period. I think it was like 8-5 in favor of Mahtomedi. So certainly, Johnny, they have they've been able to even things up a little bit and obviously went ahead on the scoreboard.
They have, and to Mike's point, Mahtomedi has 24 shots, but they don't have that many grade A chances. Mankato's done a great job of keeping everything to the outside and allowing Kuzi to see the puck. They're not going to beat Kuzi clean. It's going to take something ugly. They're going to have to get to the top of the crease, and it's something Mahtomedi has not done a good job of. If they want to win, they have to play a dirty third period.
And Mike, the biggest fear of any favored team is that they run into a hot goaltender.
Well, and you have to pay the price. And as John just alluded to, Mahtomedi hasn't done that yet. And I'm rather surprised at that because during the year they did do that when they needed it. So I think what Coach Proschel is preaching to those kids now is not, hey, we're not going to be moving the puck east-west in the slot. We're going to be carrying it in there, shooting, looking for the rebound, Tom.
All right, well, you can feel the excitement here in the arena. The fans are all revved up for the third period of action. Very patriotic here at XL Energy Center. Our coverage of the tournaments on 45 TV continue after this.
Cougars a 2-1 lead. We've noticed something, a little difference between the two benches downstairs, Chrissy Wendell.
Yeah, well, sometimes I think when you come in as the underdog, you have a little bit less to lose. You talk about Mankato being just a little bit more loose. Well, I think some of that has to do with the age. They got a young team. They might not even know what's going on yet. So I think just the seniority on Mankato, I think, needs to step up. But overall, very, very different benches.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Mankato East coming in. They are the unseeded team. The underdog, the dark horse, Mahtomedi number 2, one of the teams. You come in as the number 2, you're thinking you've got a chance on Saturday afternoon to be hoisting that title.
I'm sure every single one of these players watched last year's tournament. And if that doesn't give everyone belief in this tournament, what they can do and win this, they weren't paying attention.
Yep, Monticello upsets Delano. Northfield did the same to Mahtomedi. Hermantown needed overtime to beat Laverne. And St. Cloud Cathedral, the number 5 seed over number 4 East Grand Forks last year. So that's a 5-over-4 minor upset there. Here we have unseeded Mankato East Loyola leading 2-1. Mahtomedi off of the draw again. They're the white uniforms. We're underway here in the third period. And they immediately get the puck in low.
You can see they're already trying to start with a net front presence there. Get somebody right in Kuzi's face. Just make him uncomfortable.
That's the defenseman Aiden Pearson who dumps it in. It's the Bartholomew line here with Dulac and Joe Paradise to the slot. Block comes back. They score! Joe Paradise. New game.
High glove. Puck's bouncing around the slot a little bit. Comes right to Paradise's stick, right in his wheelhouse. Goes up and over Kuzi's glove hand. Everybody else's blocker. That's exactly the start Mahtomedi was looking for. Get this game back tied and even as quickly as possible. The longer they stayed down, the more belief Mankato had. It's a good shot.
31 seconds in, it went, as you can see, it went off a block and then right to Joe Paradise.
Nothing you can do about that. The Mankato East player does the right play, sacrifices his body, blocks a puck, and it just goes right into Paradise's wheelhouse and buries it right over Kuzi.
That is his 10th of the season, second today, second of the tournament, of course. And now we are tied back to a brand new game, 2-2 in the opening minute. And right back comes Mahtomedi.
Really interested to see how Mankato East is going to respond to this. If it's been like the rest of the game, they're going to be calm and poised like they have been.
Pilarski with a shot block. Carries it to center, dumps it in.
Paradise scoring for his efforts, his second of the game. Joe Paradise from
Mahtomedi from behind their net.
Mankato East, the same forecheck, just kind of a one guy and everybody back, trying to save as much energy as they can.
Parker Steinbill brings it in, deflects up out of play. Minute 16 in here, Mark, and you said Mahtomedi doing exactly what they had to. I don't know if they planned on scoring 31 seconds in, but it certainly worked out pretty good for them. It was a well-made plan.
Yeah, you usually go out there the first shift and just, hopefully grab some momentum,
tone,
get it in deep, anything like that. That scoring a goal is always a nice bonus.
Schreiber centering against Lallier here. Schreiber for Mankato East wins the draw. They pull it back to Keller. Sends it to the half wall, but that's as far as it gets. Gillimet is after it in the corner. That freshman that drew a penalty early on. He sandwiched along the end boards, and it ends up coming free and played out by Lallier. Mahtomedi through center. Cole McCarver off the stick of Jake Anderson, who has been an impressive defenseman here for Mankato East Loyola, hasn't he?
Yes, I'm so impressed with their poise on the back end. Yet again, they're very poised. Nothing seems to rattle that back end in Mankato East. Their gap, the way they stay up in the play, they get up offensively when the opportunities allow. Well-coached team, very well coached.
Mahtomedi able to get organized here on the breakout. They go stick to stick. Duxon tried to shoot, blocked. Borkart got in the way of that one for the Cougars.
They sacrifice their body. They're just team hockey players.
He double stacked the pads. They get it on Kuzi, trying to slam on the doorstep, and Kuzi slamming the door on the doorstep on multiple opportunities there by Dallas Duxon. Face off here in the Mankato East zone. Kuzi playing in his 100th career game here today, and see good stick work.
That's incredible. And this is like Mike was talking, between periods, they've got to get ugly, they've got to get greasy, they've got to get in there. Okay, they didn't get it on their stick that time. Eventually that puck or rebound will land on one of their sticks.
Another down low look, that time by Neal. Then they come back to that side again, and Sam Jensen in on Kuzi, and Mahtomedi buzzing a little bit here after they've tied the game at 2. Experience the joy of American hockey at the United States Hockey Hall of Fame Museum in Eveleth, Minnesota. Check out ushockeyhall.com.
It really is funny how quickly momentum can swing in this game. It's always blown my mind.
Well, what do they say? The last minute of the period, first minute of the period, and then that first few seconds after a goal is scored. Those are kind of the most critical junctures of a game. Yeah,
in the NHL, most coaches, it was 3 minutes. The first 3, last 3, the 20-minute periods. And then, yeah, the next shift after a goal is scored is just enormous.
East will tap it out, right back in by Mahtomedi. Check delivered by Jeff Neal. That fourth line made up of all seniors. Neal comes back on the back pressure there as he's able to deny Salzi. Teams exchange possession at center. Here comes a penalty at neutral.
It was a pretty big hit.
And it's going to be a Mahtomedi player going to the box. That means a Mankato East power play.
Oh, I hate being critical as a refs, but I'm not so sure about that one.
It'll be a power play for the Cougars when we come back, all tied at 2 in the third period. There's Bailey Huber, the backstopper here for Mankato East. He's going to be called upon here as they are on the penalty kill.
Yeah, and this is Mankato East. This is the moments. Special teams wins championships. These are the times they got to step up. They're not going to get a whole lot of these opportunities, if any more, tonight. They got to take advantage of it.
Power play brought to you by Catholic United. Bailey is the goaltender for Mahtomedi. You see him in the blue paint going back and forth as the teams are working along the end wall. And it is flipped up ahead. Mahtomedi, double-digit shorthanded goals. Nice spin by Bartholomew. They get it to the slot. Ends up being kicked around. Again, Mahtomedi penalty coming up here on Mankato East. Huber is out of the net, trying to get an extra attacker out there, and it's going to be a slash on Mankato East. So that'll even us up here 4-on-4 with 1:16 left in that initial penalty. It was called on Ide for Mahtomedi.
What beautiful hands by Mr. Bartholomew here, except for one part. Shoot the puck, shoot the puck. Once that first move gets done, he looks for more. Look, he's right at the hash marks. Get that to your forehand and get it on net. You got your player there. At least get a rebound in there, but that seems to be a big thing for high school because I certainly can't get my Arnold kids to shoot the puck enough.
Easier said than done, isn't it? At almost all levels, though, at sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. You hear that every level. How many times coaches just yell, shoot, shoot, shoot.
So now on the other side, Kuzi saw the face-off in his zone. We're skating 4-on-4 here for another minute. Borkhardt is the defenseman, takes it to the dot, in on the backhand, tries to jam it in on Huber. Bailey makes the save, and it's tipped up by Mahtomedi. If they get going, they have a 2-on-1 pass out of the reach of Pilarski, and Anderson goes back for Mankato East. Borkhardt, Ravenhorst trying to find him. He's going to have to deal with Skillings for Pilarski here for Mahtomedi. Dulac knocked down. As Anderson, nice check, strip the puck all in one motion. And East comes back, zigzagging in. Ravenhorst off of Huber into the corner. Mahtomedi 13 seconds to a power play for the Zephyrs. Zigzagging in is Broughton to the middle, right there for the interception. Scholes for the Cougars.
Just great deep-zone positioning by Scholes right there.
Oh my. Trailing Scholes was the centerman Bartholomew. He thought he had a little more room back behind the Mankato East net, but he just clipped it. He went down. The net came loose. Take a look at it here. Oops.
I'd love to say I've never done that, but I think I did that at every single level. It just happens sometimes. You kind of lose track where you are on the ice and run into an inanimate object that outweighs you by about 100 pounds.
It's almost like alpine skiing slalom. You're trying to get as close to that gate as possible, and it reached out and knocked him down. And it looked like they were getting going the other way too.
Right, exactly. It took away. Smart play. It feels intentional.
Right, exactly. It was ruled unintentional. And it's now a power play for Mahtomedi, their second of the game.
Quick one here, 30 seconds, but that's plenty enough time to get it down there, get set up quick here and get a play going, but they're going to have to be cleaner than that through the neutral zone.
This power play brought to you by Catholic United. Shot in on Kuzi. They work it back up to Neal, and that at a post.
Heavy
and
bar.
on a play.
Heavy bar. Great job getting the puck into the zone, getting it into the corner, finding the open defenseman on this far side here. Look at all that open ice. The Mankato East player completely gets lost there. I mean, he could have even stepped in even further, but boy, with how hard he has a shot, he doesn't have to.
14 seconds left in the power play. It's a clean win. Back to Skillings. Broughton wide, high in the air. Teams wait for it to come down. Bartholomew's there. Then they get it right in on Kuzi. And he'll smother now with 4 seconds left. There was a great story that Coach Freeze told about Jack Kuzi, how his team was struggling scoring earlier in the year, and they were frustrated against Kuzi in practice, so they brought up the JV goalies for their varsity team to shoot against in practice, and they've been scoring goals ever since.
That's a genius move that, gotta be honest, I don't think I would ever came up with it. I would have stuck with our ace and just said, hey boys, it's gonna make you a better shooter. Figure out a way to score on him, it'll be better. But hey, he knows his boys better than I do, that's for darn sure.
Back to 5-on-5, both teams able to kill off those mini power plays. Kuzi stops it behind the net. It's a tie game at 2. We've passed the 6-minute mark in the third period. Jacob Schreiber, his line, seeing some time here for Mankato East. He centers Guillemette and Michaels. Sent the other way. Teams chase. Meagard following the play in against Noah Skillings. Tipping it was Schreiber to hold it in. Behind his own net, Broughton back and forth. You can see we have the trapezoid on the ice here from the Wild games here, but of course the trapezoid is not in play here for high school hockey, not even in play at the NCAA levels. We'll get an icing for Mahtomedi. 10:24 third period. Shots are 3-1 right now, 30-10. You take a look at the crowd here.
Good crowd for a morning. Afternoon. Time is it?
We have passed. We passed noontime.
Yeah, afternoon.
It's officially afternoon.
Usually not awake until now.
The alarm is going off. He forgot to turn it off, right? It's going off at home right now.
Zach driving my wife crazy.
Here is Mahtomedi tapping head Lallier. That's going to be another icing. We'll come back with 10:09 left in the third.
It's amazing after that first period how much this game has just kind of evened out. How after that initial rush, Mankato East took the momentum, and they've really, it's been pretty back and forth at this point. Nobody's really having the advantage of ozone time. A little bit early on Mahtomedi, but
the shots are 30-10. Does it seem that lopsided?
No, it doesn't. I looked up at the end of the second. It was the same thing. It was 28-9, and I would have guessed that Mankato East had more than 9 shots at that point.
Mahtomedi out of their zone, right under the stick of Dallas Duxon. Good energy guy. Duxon still has it, but they'll whistle him down offside right at that blue line for Mankato East. That's our cue to step aside. Who's going to win this one? More of the third period coming up next. Tied at 2. Today's game summary is brought to you by Preferred One. Achieve your best health with Preferred One health plans.
Now you look at those stats, and it looks awfully even. The only thing that's oblong is the shots on goal.
2-2 under 10. Who will make it into the semifinals? 11 a.m. on Friday. Mahtomedi breaking it down, looking for a centering pass. It got tipped through there. Pilarski was in the vicinity along with Hagstrom, who kept the puck alive. Steered out by Mankato East. Starting it up, Liffrig. Liffrig got a shot for the high slot. Ooh, and that came back against Bailey Huber. And he has to reach around. And he does. Covers it, plays it safe. Face-off coming up to his right.
Yeah, he had to be on the ball right there. If he wasn't turning and following that puck right away, those, you see those get kicked in by the goalie that starts to head back to his net pretty often as well.
Liffrig
again.
6'2" freshman. Nice little hands there, creating some space, Mark.
And I like the way he used the defenseman. He didn't look for anything more. Uses the defenseman as a screen. Wasn't the hardest shot, but it doesn't have to be. If the goalie doesn't see it and it's in the right place, say goal scoring is just like real estate. Location, location, location.
Here come the Zephyrs back. The long feed. Hagstrom taken out of the play nicely by Anderson. Rode him right into the corner along the end board. No chance to make any kind of an offensive play, and it comes to Anderson, who swings it around but held in on the pinch. Bouncing in on Kuzi, had to make a quick stick save and then pushed ahead to center. Here by East. Scholes in, left side shot, knocked down. Huber tried to poke it out of there and swat it out. Instead it comes up to the blue line and kept in by the Cougars.
This is where Mankato East really could take advantage of the lack of shots on Huber, where he's just not really gotten a chance to really get the feel or get into the game. If you can start peppering with shots at this point, that's where you might get a funny one to go in.
Mahtomedi breaks out. Hagstrom to Tommy Paradise. Twin brother Joe Paradise has both of Mahtomedi's goals, numbers 9 and 10 on the season.
I would expect if the puck keeps coming to him, he's going to keep shooting.
Yes.
I would be.
Pilarski wanted to give and go, and it ends up in on Kuzi, and Pilarski was right there to try and poke it past him. But again, Jack Kuzi, strong, under fire, holds on. The senior will force a face-off to his left.
Oh, you know, and he whiffed. He was trying to go back to him, then he kind of whiffed and just threw it wherever he could. That was he beat his player off the wall there. The Mahtomedi player beat his player off, beat the two Mankato East defensemen off the wall. That's how you create offensive chances.
Joe Paradise had a look right off of the draw. Back comes Mankato East. In was Steindl, and he got hooked. Yep. Steindl coming to the blue line mark. A little bit of stick work there, and it'll be a power play for the Cougars.
He's doing a good job moving his feet, back checking, but he's reaching with the stick. Reaching with his stick, gets up under the elbow or the glove, whatever it is, and that stick parallel, that's all the refs are looking at now. You see the stick to parallel. He's skating, he's trying to just kind of hound him, and right here, he gets that stick to parallel, and it's just the thing about it is, well, it is a penalty. It's just so easy for the ref to see. Once that stick goes to parallel, it's just easy.
Mahtomedi a face-off win here. Power play for Mankato East. Be officially their third power play of the game. Their second one was a short one, as a penalty was called on them midway through. It'll be Jake Anderson from behind his net for East. This power play brought to you by Catholic United.
And they certainly can't fall asleep on this power play either. Once Mahtomedi gets it, they're going for some offense.
Anderson, you may have heard, 10 shorthanded goals on the season. They like to pounce. Borkard, Anderson. Left wing, Liffrig to Borkard, and to go off his stick, but Scholes recovers. Anderson, Borkard, shot blocked, right back to Anderson.
Great job by Bartholomew being in the shooting lane, blocks a shot right back to position.
Got in the way of that. Mahtomedi trying to ring it. Scholes pinches to the corner. Liffrig, cross ice, Anderson, Borkart. Under a minute left in the power play in this 2-2 hockey game. Scholes winds one up. It was redirected, came wide, then off of the end boards. Liffrig was there, wanted to pull it to the backhand, just didn't get out in front enough. Anderson holds it in at the point in front of the benches. He brings it to the slot. Here's his shot blocked. Big block by Bagley. He's the shot blocker and the penalty killer for Mahtomedi. Back to Borkard in the middle, trickles wide.
Both teams, I've been so impressed with that, how willing they are to sacrifice themselves, to block shots, get in the way. Well coached and players that care. It just shows you care.
Schultz in the middle here. Quick shot, Liffrig. That's blocked again. Liffrig then throws his body in there to prevent the clear. 5 seconds remaining in the Mankato East power play. Here's a check from behind. Player went down. That was Liffrig going in. He's going to go to the box. As long as there aren't any additionals here. So 3 seconds left in the Mankato East power play. Mahtomedi in 3 seconds will get a power play of their own.
I think a little frustration got the best of the youngster there. That's just a penalty. You can't take that at any time of the game. And it doesn't take much. You could say that, oh, I just pushed him a little. Well, yeah, he's not ready for it. And it's in that danger zone, that 2-3 feet. It doesn't take more than that to hurt somebody pretty darn bad. You just can't take that penalty ever, let alone 5:49 left in the period, in the game, excuse me.
Sam Jensen, number 15, was the player pushed into the wall, and it is going to be a 5-minute major. A 5 and a 10.
You just can't do it. It's a danger zone. That's exactly the kind of plays and hits that they're trying to take out of hockey. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to have more respect for the other players. The guy's straight numbers. There's a good chance that the Mahtomedi player had no clue that Liffrig was there. No clue. And no, he didn't go run him in there, but he's in such a dangerous position. I mean, bad things could have happened there very easily. I'm glad, or hopefully nothing did happen, and it just did end up in a 5-minute penalty. It's just undisciplined. It's just flat out undisciplined.
And it could be a game-changing scenario here as Mahtomedi comes back to full strength. Hagstrom got a shot off the blocker of Kuzi. The power play is brought to you by Catholic United.
5:49 left in the game. I can't tell you how bad that kid feels in the locker room right now, too. I'm sure he's just sick to his stomach, and then he'll feel even worse once he actually sees it.
See a 49-second difference on the power play clock and the game clock in a 2-2 game. Mahtomedi's power play this season, 23%. They have their skill guys out there. Tommy Paradise, Tommy Broughton up high, Joe Paradise.
You ever looking for a time to take over the game right now for your power play? Here it is, boys. Put them out of their misery. Get a couple, get as many as you want.
Pilarski in tight. Kuzi saved. Rebound back to Pilarski, but out dueling him for it is Ravenhorst. He gets it to the red line, and then we'll clear. And a penalty coming up Is it going to be a Mahtomedi interference?
Yep, he did. He stepped in front of him. Ravenhorst, great work there. Just battled. That's pure will that he got that out of his own end, gets down there, ices a puck. Now, this isn't much, but that's interference. He skates in front of him, cuts him off, and you can't take that either.
Don't go anywhere. Tied at 2 in the third.
Yeah, as a coach, this just irritates me so much. It's completely unnecessary for him to step in front there. It's blatantly obvious. He does it right in front of the ref. You just got a 5-minute power play. 5-minute power play. Be careful. The coaches, I guarantee you, Coach Poschel was saying, boys, watch your sticks. Be careful. Move your feet. Don't reach. Don't give them a reason to give us one, because we just took a 5-minute penalty with 5 minutes and 49 seconds left.
So for the second time today, we have some 4-on-4 time for 1:42. Pilarski, little drag, blocked. Keller got in the way of that, and then a backhand trickling into the crease. Swept out of there by Anderson, but not out of the zone. Mahtomedi loses it. Shy of the line, came out. Kuzi, the stick is out in front of him. He'll find it and grab it. As they whistle it down, they came back in. That puck snuck out of the zone, then back in offside.
They got kind of lucky. There's not too many Mankato East people were looking to get their goalie the stick, and that's a kind of a big no-no. Goalie loses his stick, defenseman loses his stick in the D zone. Somebody give it to him. Not a forward. Absolutely, the goalie cannot have a stick, and that thing gets to the top of the circles before anybody finds it.
Plus, where it was, a shot could have hit it and deflected it.
Lucky Mahtomedi was offsides, and they didn't tag up.
Mahtomedi in the Mankato East zone. Lallier working in there. Jake Anderson was 1-on-2. Centering attempt. It comes to Anderson. He's got that C on his jersey for a reason. He's leading his team out there right now. Swept around Keller. Tipped out Scholes. Right back to the east line. Keller, Anderson. We're 4-on-4 for another 46 seconds. And then the major power play will continue after that. 5-on-4 Mahtomedi.
And this is one of those moments. I got to go back to one of my favorite coaches, Tom Satterdahl. And this is where he's leaning on his seniors. He's leaning on his leaders. All right, big boys, the old guys, our leaders. Who's going to pull it out for us? Who's going to come up with the big play?
Skillings gets it going the other way. They center for Jensen, and a shot in on Kuzi. That glove on the right hand's been pretty steady. It has been trusty, and he holds on to force the faceoff in the east zone.
He has been incredible. His rebound control, his awareness, his stick, the way he's been so active. I would usually, goaltenders like that are also very vocal. I don't know if maybe Chrissy Wendell has heard that down there at all too, but usually that's what happens as well. They're very vocal and barking orders and talking to the team, and that comes up huge. So I don't know, Chrissy, did you hear anything? Can you hear anything down there?
I can't. Actually, the benches have been rather quiet. It's the beginning of the period was a lot of energy. I don't know if they're getting tired and worn down, but they've seemed to kind of calm down and get a little more focused.
Back in, shot, Ravenhorst. Sneaks back out to center. And a chance for Jensen. 4-on-4 shot. Flips the top of the crease. Wide into the corner. Meanwhile, Mahtomedi at full strength. They're back onto a major power play. Loose puck, though, to Meagard. Backhands it out.
Another great stick by Borkart. Mankato East's defensemen are getting a stick on everything. They're positionally, they're moving their feet. I'm very, very impressed, if I haven't said that enough.
Forced wide, in comes Ide. Still with it. Puck on a string. Takes a return pass, but then he was pressured by the defender, Ravenhorst. And that forced him to keep it wide, then to the doorstep. Loose, bodies out in front, just wide. Rebound East, cleared all the way down. Minute 37 left in the major power play. Bartholomew gets it below the icing line. Anderson trailing him there. Bartholomew back up high. Skillings. Bartholomew. It's Skillings. Shot wide. Crazy Karam up the slot. Grabbed there by Kazenbach, but not out.
I'm not so sure Cusack saw that. A lot of bodies in front of him.
Ducks in at the half wall to get it out in front. They score! Joe Paradise. No, check that. Bartholomew out in front on the major power play, and they will stay on the power play as Mahtomedi takes the lead.
Seniors, leaders, that's who you're looking for to come through in these moments, these pressure moments. Hopefully they've been through something similar to this. Obviously maybe not at the state tournament, but somewhere they can rely on that experience. Just a great job, just realizing he's got an open lane, steps out, moves his feet right away. See, just realize right there he's got a space, gets out there, finally finds a way to sneak one by Kuzi.
That's his 16th of the season for Charlie Bartholomew. Team captain goes bow and arrow on the celebration. And Mahtomedi gets the go-ahead goal, 3-2 under 2 minutes left to go. And again, they're still on the power play. That gives them the lead, and it delays Mankato East with what they want to do here now that they're trailing.
Exactly what I was going to say. The best part about that is now they still got 57 seconds. And as a coach, let me tell you, it is awfully hard to pull your goalie when you're shorthanded. To just know that at any moment, it's 5-on-5, you're not going up a man, it's a tough thing to do. So I would assume he's going to wait. You're going to have less than a minute to pull your goalie, and Mahtomedi more than likely will have it in the O-zone the whole time. So you're going to have to get it 200 feet, get it set up, and score.
Bartholomew from Duxon and Neal. Now it is a shorthanded chance for Mankato East coming in with Scholes. But Mahtomedi able to recover. They have it back at neutral. Tommy Paradise. Joe Paradise has scored a pair. Bartholomew got that third one. Losing the handle. It's going to sneak out away from Broughton. Back to East. And then they'll find a man at the blue line.
I love the way that East is still going for the stretch pass on the PK. Hey, you got to now. At this point, go for it.
Got to take chances. Under a minute left to go. Mahtomedi in, shot, saved by Kuzi. Rebound behind the net, and they wrap it around Pilarski. I think Kuzi thought he had it controlled, but it's stuck behind the net, and it's now 4-2 Mahtomedi.
Took the words out of my mouth, Jim, and what a play it was by Skillings. He's just taking it to the net, getting a step on that defenseman from Mankato East, doing it the hard way, taking on the net, gets a shot on it, and yeah, the way Kuzi kind of froze, I think he definitely thought he had it. Pilarski comes around and just wraps around and tucks it in. That would have got him a breakfast for Coach Satterdon. He loved the wrap around.
That was Dulac who brought it in.
Oh, Dulac.
8 and 9 are hard to see here for Mahtomedi. That's 9, Nikolai Dulac.
It was his own defenseman that pulled it away from him. He thought he still had it. His own defenseman's foot pulled it out right here. Had no idea. Oh, heartbreaker. That 52 seconds. I've seen 2 goals score a lot quicker than 52 seconds.
In these games, any time on the clock can be a lot of time. So Mankato East Loyola uses their timeout. It was Pilarski scoring the goal. That's his 14th. So goal scoring from both their first line and their second line today for Mahtomedi.
And I would assume at this point, Coach Free would, I would say I'd have Kuzi up top of the circles, as far up as he felt comfortable. Get ready for whoever it is coming out of the bench. Get on the bench and get the 6-on-5 as fast as possible.
Both of those goals, power play goals. The penalty has expired. Mankato East is at full strength, but Mahtomedi able to tip it into the East zone. That keeps Kuzi between the pipes here for the time being. Under 40 left. Rabenhorst knocked down, driven in by Bartholomew. Under 30 seconds left. Scholes taken down as he was going to the net, keeping the feet moving. He goes down, penalty.
Yeah, I tell you what, borderline in that interference, but you know what? He kept his feet moving, like you said, and that gets a lot of phone calls, a lot of penalty calls.
Today's Save of the Game is brought to you by Catholic United Life Insurance Annuities and Retirement Products.
That nasty left foot. Kuzi's feet is so quick. His reaction is just stretching it out there. That doesn't look that hard. Once as a goalie's going down, then to throw that leg out like that is a lot harder than it looks.
Takes a lot of flexibility.
Something I never had.
The penalty for interference, Aiden Pearson going for Mahtomedi. But the time is running out here on Cinderella Mankato East. Shot through by Borkart. Fans counting down. Deflected. There's the horn. And Mahtomedi, after being knocked off last year in the quarterfinals, they are heading to the semis on Friday.
What a great game to start off. I mean, both teams played very well. Hats off to both of them. Mahtomedi steps up, comes up big. Kuzi, I would have trouble not giving him the player of the game, even though they lost. The way he played, the way he controlled the tempo in his own end. Heart goes out to him, but well, somebody's got to win eventually.
33 saves for that young man, that goaltender, playing in his 100th career game. Long career at Mankato East. And Mahtomedi, this being their 9th tournament appearance as the 2nd seed, they survive.
Much to their relief of their coaches, I'm sure, after last year, they could exercise the demons a little bit.
Let's do our player of the game, and it's brought to you by Highway Federal Credit Union, providing financial success on the road of life.
Yeah, Charlie Bartholomew right there. Game-winning goal, 2 assists. Senior captain. Somewhere in this building, Tom Satterdahl is smiling.
He's their inspirational leader, too, according to Coach Jeff Poschel. You see him there. There's Jack Kuzi. What a career at Mankato East. Our play of the game brought to you by Minnesota Rusco since 1955. This is the one that decided it.
I love it. I mean, the goal was nice, but him recognizing that the Mankato East player got overextended on the PK. There's a lane, skates it out, gets it to an angle he's comfortable with, and throws it in the net.
That's our player of the game. Let's go down to Chrissy Wendell.
Yeah, I'm down here with Charlie. Charlie, you guys were down 2-1 coming into the 3rd period. You came out in the 3rd period with tons of firepower. What was the message coming in their intermission?
You know, we came through the section playoffs trailing after the 2nd period in 2 games, so it wasn't anything new for us, and we knew we had to just bear down and get it done.
Yeah, how much of a relief did you feel after playing and having so many offensive opportunities to finally get it past Kuzi there? Yeah, it was tough. Hats off to him. He played a great game, but we just kept pounding and kept going and finally went in for us. Your team has a ton of depth. You used a ton of players out there. How important is that in a tournament like this? Oh, it's huge. Everybody's giving 110%, and you know that you have to do that in a tournament like this. So it's good that we can have as many guys giving their all the whole game. Thanks, Charlie. Go enjoy your teams.
They are celebrating in the Mahtomedi locker room. Well, Mark, a good first one here to start it out, our first of 4.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's one of those situations where you can't even, your coach for Mankato East, you got to always hold your head high. Did everything they could. They executed their game plan as best they could. A couple power play goals came out of it. And Mahtomedi not getting frustrated with a good goaltender, sticking with it, same thing. Well, it was a spectacular game on both ends of the ice.
Final score, 4-2. Mahtomedi, they're in the semis. More for you coming up next on 45 TV.